When President William Samoei Ruto arrived in Migori, Junet Mohammed led the members of the praise and worship team that belonged to the broad-based government. And they were showering William Ruto with praises. You know, it feels good as a president that has lost touch with the people. A president that is now used to Ruto must go. When you are in a place where people are showering you with praises and they tell you you're the best, it's a good feeling. So Junet led that group and they were telling William Ruto that this is the second time you're in our area. And Junet Mohammed took that moment not only to praise William Ruto, but to mock Uhuru Kenyatta. There was a time Uhuru was in Migori, sometimes back when he was the president of the country, and they were not in good terms with Raila Amolo Odinga. And there was some altercation and chaos in that area, and someone threw some shoes at him. Some shoes was aimed at him, and there was some altercation. So Junet Mohammed took that moment to mock Uhuru Kenyatta. That, you know, Kibaki came here once, he was just passing when he was going to see what was happening in Migingo. Then Uhuru came here and there was some shoes was thrown at him, but you're now the best president. Little did Junet Mohammed know that he was making a prophecy that was to befall William Ruto just a few minutes or hours after that speech.
Your Excellency, hii kaunti yetu ni kaunti ambaye umejaribu sasa the last 1 year kuhakikisha ya kwamba tupate maendeleo. Kwa sababu this is your second time that you have decided to come to this constituency, especially since you became president. The last time we saw a president in this constituency, Your Excellency, was Kibaki. He came here one day, I don't know, there was a problem with Migingo, I think, akapitia tu, tukakula lunch hapa na ikakushia namna hiyo. Hatukuona president mara nyingine, President Uhuru akakuja hapa, tukavurutana kidogo hapa, viatu ikatupwa, ikaenda namna hiyo hiyo pia, tukamalizana namna hiyo. But now you have decided to make Migori as part of the counties that you visit regularly. We are very grateful for that.
So the larger Migori County hosts several tribes, including the Kuria. During the demarcation, Kurias were never given their own county. They have always lamented that they want their own county. But I think those who are in charge decided to place them together with the Luo community. So William Ruto headed to Kihancha from Suna West. He was, I think he went to several places and there was in Kihancha. The same thing that Junet was trying to mock Uhuru about, the same prophecy that he made in front of William Ruto, befell William Ruto. And it was really, I don't know whether it was amazing or humiliating or shameful, but this is how things happened.
Kwanza tupunguze gharama ya.
So that was some shoes being thrown at the president. You know, the first thing that I need to say, let us not take this lightly. Because this government that has got penchant of hunting those who they perceive to have disrespected the president cannot be trusted. Something tells me that the person who threw that shoes at the president might be dealt with. I'm saying this because when Gen Zs went and stormed parliament, when they thought that this game was over, some of them were pursued to their residential places. They were kidnapped and they were just found dead. For a president that is almost under siege does not take anything to chance. And they might want to understand why he was doing that. So, and the security officers, because this is a security breach, before a president goes somewhere, there must be an advanced team. And I know there must have been some plainclothes, guys around. And matters security to the president are always very serious. And they might just be questioned. They might be questioned why that happened. So if those people know the person who did that, I know the security will review the camera. They might go for him. Even the ones, those Kenyans, those youths who are involved in the BBC exposure, they were apprehended yesterday. And I think because of pressure, they were released. So we have a government that is very intolerant to any divergent view. If you know the person who did that, if he's a man or a youth or anybody, keep an eye on him because he might just go. So Junet Mohammed thought that if it happened to Uhuru, it is something that you can mock people around. So William Ruto also, has also gotten to the history of the people who have been chased there because he had to cut that speech short. But what exactly is happening, ladies and gentlemen? Kindly subscribe to our channel. If you're watching us for the first time, please click the notification bell. Don't forget, kindly, don't forget to like and share our videos. This is the best support that you can render to our channel. If you listen carefully to that speech, William Ruto was about to say something to the effect that we reduce. I don't know whether he had started his rhetorics or to punguze, to fanye nini, and then pap, he was stopped. And at some point, I understand that the cameras had to be switched off because it was a chaotic moment. What exactly is happening? And one thing that has also surprised me is the fact that Kurias have never voted together with the Luos. They always support the presidents. When Raila contests, they don't vote for Raila. From time, they've been voting on the opposite side. So today, the Kurias decide one. I don't know. I don't want to mention that he was a Kuria guy because Kenyatta, yes, is a county, belongs to the Kurias, but there might have been another tribe there. But it's shocking because they supported William Ruto even in the last election, if I'm not wrong. Why the change of mind? Something tells me that Matiang'i is taking over because I believe these people would rather vote for Fred Matiang'i, and you will see this happening. Fred is going to get a lot of support, even in the larger Nyanza. So I believe that Kurias are now tired. They have a feeling that if they support Fred Matiang'i will make things better. They can even get their own county. And why do I think so? Kisis have been given their counties. They are in Nyanza. Sometimes back it was the larger Nyanza province, but they have been given their own counties, Nyamira and Kisii. So Kurias might be thinking that if we elect Fred Matiang'i, he can give us our own country. He's taking over. Because it's funny that William Ruto such a thing happened in Kihancha. People are also tired of lies and rhetorics and promises. I can tell you, wherever William Ruto goes, people want to predict what he's about to say. It's very predictable. People are tired, but not only exhausted about the lies of the government. I'm surprised by the level of audacity. That is quite insane. It's either ignorance or just a bold step to make your feelings known. Because sometimes, especially the government of William Ruto, can get crazy. They can be very brutal. So if you see someone throwing, shoes at a president, and I don't know whether that shoes hit him. It's very crazy. That means people are tired and they are ready to take action. But I always say this. All these things that we are doing, the noises about Ruto must go, the throwing of shoes. If we are not going to convert all this energy into voting, if we are not going to sensitize each other, register as voters, then wake up very early in the morning in 2027 to take care of our destiny, it is all lost energy. And so I want to urge Kenyans, if you know that you're tired of a leadership from the MCA all the way to the presidency, the only thing you need to do is to express that feeling at the ballot. And I've always said that the number one thing to show that we are serious about change is to sensitize each other to register as voters, to ensure that we don't take bribes, because people who take bribes can easily be persuaded to do something otherwise. I have seen people say ya kwamba hawa wabunge hata ukiwachagua wanaenda wanatia mimi yangu nakula tu, mwenye mnanipatia saa hizo ndio nampigia. It's common, especially in the rural suburbs. When you go, utasikia kina mama wanasema mimi yangu namalizana na mbunge kwa sababu wakishaenda watatusahau, ule atanipatia 1,000 yangu hivyo. At the level of poverty plays part. So we need to shun the bribery. Then we must stop being tribal. William Ruto, the deep state and the NIS is busy monitoring what is happening at Wamunyoro. One day you will tell me, you can never miss one Ruto spy in that group. I can assure you, take this to the bank. And one thing that William Ruto is going to do is to ensure that that group is divided. And William Ruto is just praying, because the way things are moving, the vector points at Matiang'i and Kalonzo. It all depends on whether they decide to shelve their pride. It all depends. If Ruto, if Matiang'i takes the country by storm and the group decide that Matiang'i is going to be the flag bearer, will Kalonzo accept to play second fiddle? If he does, will the Kambas vote for him? If Matiang'i says, if Kalonzo says, I'm the one, can Matiang'i play second fiddle? And I hope that they will agree. William Ruto is really waiting to use divide and rule. We must stop voting along tribal lines. If we do, I can assure you, we will make a mistake that we'll have to live with for another 5 years. All choices have got consequences. This time around, let us see and think of what is good for us. Let us not allow the party leaders to decide for us. Hao watu ambao unawaachia, wa kuongoza na kuambia piga kura hapa na pale, hawajui njaa ni nini. Wanaacha hao watu wa chini waendelee kuteseka. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is happening and we have not even started the campaigns. And, they've started throwing shoes. What will happen when it is decided and people say, now tumeanza campaigns? It will be messy. And they had painted that tour as one that was successful. But you can now see that people are tired, they are ready to make their voices known, and they fear nobody. Things are getting thicker. And I don't see anything that will, not unless a miracle happens, William Ruto is not going to be re-elected. Because people might decide to vote in large numbers that it is like a revolution. Even the IEBC and the NIS and the police and the military will tell you, hapa ni kubaya. When you have a gap of 3 million or 5 million or 7, that will be it won't be very easy for any irregularity. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what happened after Junet thought that he was making Ruto a hero by mocking Uhuru Kenyatta. People are tired. People are making their voices known. Matiang'i is coming, and the political clouds and the storm is gathering. Utakuwa upande gani? The oppressed or the oppressor? Status quo or change? Those who are just talking or taking action? Sensitize one another to register as voters, because that is the only way we can change the country. The only thing I don't understand is why youth do not want to come. I can see the youth still say they want Maraga, they want Okia, they want Watei. Why can't youth also decide to be part of the change by taking these seats? If they don't want the presidency, let them go for the other seats like Wabunge. So that even if you get a president who does not listen, but you have majority of members of parliament who are youths and they understand you, they will make things run, because the president will be bringing due the finance bill and they wanayangusha. Please let us take action.